Hi, my name is Henry from Quicksilver Series. In this lesson, we'll be looking at making model with the software. Okay, I just want to show you a quick approach. You can easily create a model with the software. Then later we'll look at the other side of it. Okay. Then of course, to create a new project, remember you have to click on File and you click New Project. Now, to build models with the software, let me quickly paint a scenario. Usually assume, for instance, you have a building plan, an architectural drawing, and you want to design the architectural drawing. Structurally, the first thing you do is to plan your drawing. First of all, you map out your GA, the first floor GA, the second floor GA, the roof GA, and all the rest. Then of course you now need to know the positions of the columns and all the rest. And then again, to map out the floor GAs, basically you have the panels, the beams dividing the floors into panel. Now in our software, we notice that it's much more faster to build up a floor layout when you model the panels. Then the software by itself can create the beam positions, the column positions, and then it's now left for you to edit all those positions. So let me just go straight to the point. Okay, let's assume we have a 6-panel arrangement, quite very straightforward. All you need to do is to click on rectangular panel. Okay, then just click between 2 points for the very first panel, and then you can edit the properties of the panel. As you can see on your right hand side, we have so many properties of the panel. And again, let me also state, well, before I come to that, let's just move forward. Let's assume the height of the panel is 3000 and the width of the panel is 4000. Okay, now this is a rectangular slab. Okay, now we have so many different type of panels, but I will come to that later. Okay, now I can now copy this panel to the right. To do that, we use what we call reference by panel. First of all, to copy a panel to any position, you have to select the panel and then you click on reference by panel, and then I can say copy selected panel to the right. As you can see, so the software copies the panel to the right. Okay, I can also say select reference by panel again, copy last panel to the right. You can see it maps it out. I can also say copy the last panel bottom, copy last to the right, copy last panel to the right. So you can see how easy I can build my panel arrangement. Okay, so we have this a 6-panel arrangement. I can also show the panel number. Okay, you can say I have panel 1 all the way to 6. This is simple and straightforward. So that is the quick way you can create a panel. But bear in mind that when you copy a panel, of course you can edit the panel. A very good example, assuming if this panel, the width is 5000, you can see I can easily edit it. Okay, take this panel to, let's assume the width is 5000, change the width, and the height is 4000. So this is how easy you can edit a panel. Okay, it's quite very simple. Okay, you can play with the geometry. Okay, and then secondly, apart from doing a reference by panel, you can also draw a second panel all by yourself. I mean, it's free. You can click on this and draw another panel. Okay, there are many ways to go around it, but to make life faster, it's always better select the panel, then reference it to wherever you want to reference it, and then you can change the dimension. For instance, the height can be 4 and the width can be 5. So is all left for you however you want to do it. Of course, to delete a panel, you just simply click on the panel and press delete, and the panel is deleted. That is how to quickly make a panel and modeling. And remember, in the last lesson, I talked about before ever you even start creating the panels, that it is a good idea you set your default settings. Okay, what the impose load will be and all whatnot. It's always better you set them from the beginning. Okay, so the software works with your default loadings. As you can see in this our panel, you can see the slab loading. It's already loaded. It's all automatic. As you create a panel, the loadings are done automatic. You can see my QK, that is the impose load, is 1.5 based on what I have in the default. So as we said in the last lesson, it's always good to set all your defaults before you start. Now, and this is my panel too. Now this is my starting floor, and of course my starting floor, I can call it what it is. Let's say that this is my ground floor. Okay, then after this, the next is for me to copy the rest of the floors. But again, you can see the ground floor starts as 0 level. It's at 0 level, and then we have the next new floor height, which is at 3150. Okay, that's it. Then I can create the beam span, and I can create the beam. Okay, now the next is for me to copy this floor. There are so many ways I can copy a floor. I can just come and click create multiple floors. Okay, let's assume again that in this our little model, you can see this is the floor property. Actually, you can see the ground floor is at 0 level. Okay, then I can create multiple floors. Here I will specify the number of floor I want to create. Let's assume I have 2 additional floors plus the roof level, because the roof level contains the beam arrangement, so they are all part of the floors. Okay, in this case I have 2 additional floor plus the roof level, making it 3 additional floor. So I'll say I want to create 3 more floor. Then I can say make the last floor to be roof, and then I can enter the depth of the roof beam, which I will accept this, the breadth of the roof beam, the roof GK, and the roof QK. Okay, then I'll click create, copy and create multiple floor. Then I will click this operation. We add 3 floors to the floor collection. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, of course I want to. Then are you sure you want to use the ground floor as a reference floor? I'll say yes, of course I want to. So that's it. The software will create our 3 additional floors. Okay, it's just processing. This is just straightforward. So that's it. You can see I have my 3 additional floors. Okay, so let's go and see what we have done so far. You can see I have another floor, which is the last floor. Then you can see this is floor 2, floor 3, floor 4, which is the roof. As you can see this is the roof level, and you can also see the software have also created additional columns. If we go straight forward and put this up in 3D, I'll reduce the scale 1 in 200. So you can see our floor. So you can see this is the ground floor. Basically, in the software, usually we use the starting floor to kind of create the layout. Then when we copy the floor, okay, then of course we are kind of saying we are copying the first floor and then the second floor and so on. Or you copy the first floor, then you can edit the layout if it is different from the ground floor. But we always advise, usually you have your first floor arrangement, use it to be the starting floor, so that you can map out the floor at the end of the day if it is different from the ground floor, just for the sake of the foundation layout. If it is different, then you can edit. But this is how you can easily and quickly build up a floor. And if you notice again, the last floor, you can see it is the roof level. You can see there is no panel in it, but of course it has what we call the roof panels. Okay, you will see that in detail later. So you can see from what I have done. Originally I set out to create the ground floor, and after creating the ground floor, then assuming that the arrangement is the same for the first floor and the second floor, and of course the roof level, that is the beam arrangement. So you can see I used the ground floor, then I copied multiple floor, and I created my first floor, my second floor, and the roof level. That is how easy you can easily build an arrangement with the software. To return back to the floor view, I'll just click on the floor view. I'll go back, and of course you can also add some other things, like this is my ground floor. I can call this floor 2. I can call it my first floor, and then the other one I can call it my second floor. Okay, and then this is the roof. Okay, so this is how easy you can easily make a model with the software. Okay, let me kind of rewind what I have said before. To build a model, assuming for instance you have an architectural drawing, usually as the engineer you ought to decide how your beam GA will go. Okay, and basically the beam GA used to break the beam, the floor. As you can see, this is my floor. The beam GA usually break the floor into panels. You can see in this case I have panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and of course this is my individual beams. Let me show the beam numbers. So you can see these are my individual beams. You can see I have beam 1, beam 2, beam 3, running all the way from here to here. Now, so the beams usually break the floor into a panel. Now, to make a model with the software, as I say, all you need to do is to build those individual panels. In our software, the software have the capability to predict where the beam positions are likely to be, and as you can see, it have done that very well. Okay, now the beam usually comprises of the beam span and the beam. Okay, but I will talk about this later in details in a later lesson that we're going to do. So that is basically all you need to do. I mean, once you break the stuffs into panel, and then you create the panels, okay, as I did earlier. Once you create the panel, as I did earlier, once you create the panel, that's all you need to do. Then you can just go back, use copy multiple to map out the rest of the number of floors you have, and that's it. You have created your model. You can display, you can see the software also even creates the columns, okay, and you can display it out in 3D, and you have such a wonderful drawing. So what is a very wonderful model. Okay, so this is actually how we make model with the software. It's quite very simple and very straightforward. Now in our next lesson we will dive more into, of course, how you are going to do your design and then your detailing. Okay, thank you very much.